Raleigh is not just growing, it's quietly setting itself up for the next decade, like Mark Zuckerberg did in the movie The Social Network, with Zuckerberg money being invested here all over the place. And here's the real question. Is it already too late to move here like it is in New York, LA, or Miami? Or is Raleigh still one of the smartest places to plant roots before the next wave of growth really takes off like the next Artemis 3 rocket? Some are obvious, some are underrated, and some are the things most people completely miss when they're researching online. Make sure to stay until the end because number 10 may completely change where you decide to buy. Let's start with the first one. Raleigh is becoming a buzzword. It's not just a nice place to live. For years, people talked about Raleigh as this comfortable capital city with good jobs, pretty trees, strong schools, and a slower pace of life. And honestly, all that still is true. But the bigger story in 2026 is that Raleigh is becoming one of the most sought-after cities in the Southeast, with the tech hub being touted as the Silicon Valley of the East Coast. Raleigh sits in this really interesting spot between Charlotte, DC, Atlanta, and the coast. Where it's located matters more than people actually realize, but also the tens of billions of dollars, yes, with a B, that have been invested here over the last 10 years matters also. And then the touted Silicon Valley of the East Coast has access to top universities, research talent, airports, healthcare systems, and a strong quality of life without paying Boston, New York, San Francisco, or DC prices. And that's huge for a lot of people moving here. That means you're not just choosing a pretty city with a good restaurant. You're choosing a region with momentum that's booming, like Usain Bolt, and a ton of money pushing it forward. Our family and I moved here 8 years ago from Southern California, sight unseen. So I know exactly what it feels like when everything online looks amazing, but you're still wondering, okay, but what does real life actually feel like once you get there? And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or relocating to the Raleigh Triangle area, that's what we do every day. Call, text, or email us anytime. Our number is right here on the screen. We would love to help you figure out which area actually fits your lifestyle before you make a move that you regret. Now, number 2, Raleigh's job market, which is hot, and it's much deeper than most people realize. A lot of people hear Raleigh and immediately think tech. And yes, the Silicon Valley of the East is a huge part of the story. But what makes Raleigh and the Triangle so strong is that the economy is not just built on one industry. You have tech, life sciences, healthcare, education, finance, advanced manufacturing, state government, startups, research, and higher education that all are working together, and they're not just here, they are investing tens of billions in places like Apex, Holly Springs, Clayton, Durham, and those are just to name a few. That creates a lot more stability than a city that depends on one major employer or one single industry. The Research Triangle Park is still one of the biggest diamonds in the region, but it's also changing rapidly. For decades, the RTP was where people drove in, worked all day, and then they drove somewhere else to eat, shop, or live. It was important, but it was not exactly lifestyle focused. Now that's changing with Hub RTP and the larger RTP 3.0 vision. The goal is to bring in more restaurants, retail, hotels, lab space, offices, green space, trails, and mixed-use energy while the money is rolling in. So the RTP is not just trying to be where people work anymore, it's trying to become a place where people can actually gather, collaborate, eat lunch outside, and then meet friends after work as they walk on trails or play some pickleball and actually feel connected as a community. That's a big deal for newcomers looking at places like Morrisville, South Durham, Cary, Apex, and Western Raleigh. And number 3 is life sciences, what may be Raleigh's secret superpower. This is one of those topics that does not always get the flashiest YouTube thumbnail, but it's one of the biggest reasons the Triangle keeps winning. Holly Springs has become a serious biomanufacturing hub. Fuji opened a massive facility there, and Genentech increased its Holly Springs investment to around $3 billion. That's not normal small town growth. That is global pharmaceutical money choosing a Wake County suburb that not too long ago a lot of people considered way out there. Now Holly Springs is not just a bedroom community. It's becoming a major employment center with so many awesome and great amenities and parks all around it. In southeast of Raleigh, Clayton is seeing billions invested by Novo Nordisk to expand production on top of another, yes, billion from Grifols invested here. That brings construction jobs, long-term jobs, supporting businesses, new housing demand, and more attention to Johnston County. So when people ask why places like Holly Springs, Fuquay Varina, Clayton, Flowers Plantation, Archer Lodge, or even Benson, these adjacent areas are becoming more popular and they're part of the answer. It's not just people chasing cheaper taxes and homes, they're chasing jobs, infrastructure, amenities, and parks. It's a major employer moving closer to where people really want to live. And number 4 is healthcare expansion, and this is creating a new map of opportunity. Hospitals don't make billion-dollar decisions casually. They study population growth, migration patterns, access, demand, and where people are actually expected to live over the next decade. Yes, that is definitely complicated, but the bottom line here is a ton of opportunity and a ton of money is being invested and keeps coming to the Triangle. And right now, healthcare systems are expanding all around Raleigh. Then you have UNC Health and Duke Health who are partnering on North Carolina's first freestanding children's hospital in Apex, inside the very exciting Viridia Master Plan development near US 1. That's a massive signal for southwestern Wake County. Duke Health is expanding in Cary. Wake Med, they're building a major campus in Garner. Wake Med also has been targeting Fuquay Varina with an emergency care access center. UNC Health is expanded in Holly Springs, and Wake Forest has been part of the conversation for additional hospital access. So if you look at the map, you start to see this ring of healthcare investment forming all around Raleigh. Apex, Cary, Garner, Fuquay Varina, Holly Springs, Wake Forest, that really matters to families. It also matters to retirees, it matters to employers, and it needs to matter to buyers who are considering living a little farther out but still want access to quality medical care. Number 5, infrastructure. It's finally catching up. Now, is traffic still a thing? Absolutely, but I never sit here and tell you Raleigh has absolutely no traffic, because that would be a little too much real estate fairy dust. But what does matter is that the region is making major infrastructure moves. The Complete 540 is one of the biggest highway projects in North Carolina, and when the eastern section is complete, it'll better connect southern and eastern Wake County. And that totally changes the conversation for places like Fuquay Varina, Garner, Clayton, Knightdale, Wendell, and parts of Apex. Some of these places used to feel way more disconnected. You could live there, but depending on where you worked, that commute might feel like a commitment. Now the outer loop gives more options. It opens new routes, and it also connects towns were definitely not always easy to connect. And now it makes some of the outer ring and eastern area suburbs more realistic for buyers who want more space, newer homes, or a different place of life. RDU Airport is also in the middle of long-term improvements, including runway work, parking, terminal upgrades, and future passenger capacity planning in the future. And that may not sound exciting until You're the person trying to fly for work, visit family, or move here from another state. More airport capacity makes the triangle more convenient, more competitive, more connected. Then you add in bus rapid transit, regional rail conversations, and the long-term S-Line passenger rail corridor that they've been talking about, and now they're finally seeing Raleigh starting to build. And now you can see Raleigh starting to think bigger than just adding lanes and hoping for the best. Number 6, Raleigh is investing in lifestyle, not just rooftops. This is one of my favorite parts of the growth story because yes, we're adding homes, and yes, we're adding apartments. And yes, we're adding mixed-use developments. But Raleigh is also investing in parks, greenways, trails, and gathering spaces. And that definitely matters because people don't just move for square footage. They move for lifestyle. And Dix Park is a perfect example. This 300+ acre park near downtown Raleigh is becoming one of the city's most important lifestyle anchors. And then right next to it with the Gibson Play Plaza, now open, which has events, skyline views, walking space, public art, and future park improvements that they're working on right now. Dix Park has turned into a true regional destination. It's the kind of place where you can bring the kiddos, walk the doggos, and meet your friends while you go to an event, watch the sunset, and just take a minute to breathe. Raleigh's greenway system is another huge win. You can have city amenities and still find places to walk, bike, run, and escape into the trees. And for newcomers from larger metros like we were from, that balance is a huge part of the appeal. Number 7, the entertainment and food scene is finally leveling up. Raleigh is not trying to be Vegas, and honestly, I don't think it should. But if you still think Raleigh is sleepy, you probably haven't been paying attention. Downtown Raleigh, North Hills, the Warehouse District, Smoky Hollow, Cary, Durham, and smaller suburban downtowns are adding restaurants, coffee shops, breweries, live music, and walkable spaces. Red Hat Amphitheater and the Convention Center conversation is part of downtown's future. You have Coastal Credit Union Music Park, which brings major concerts. Lenovo Center keeps sports and entertainment strong with the Carolina Hurricanes 2026 winners, concerts, events, and big arena energy. Then you have downtown Cary Park, which is awesome by itself, right next door to Fenton. Then you have downtown Wake Forest, Fuquays, 2 downtowns, Nighttail Station, Wendell Falls, and more local town centers creating their own sense of place. And this is where Raleigh's next decade gets real interesting. The lifestyle options are spreading out. You don't have to just live in downtown Raleigh to have access to restaurants, parks, events, coffee shops, and community. That matters because newcomers do not want all the same thing. Some people want walkability, some want newer construction, some want land, some want a country club feel, some want trails and community events. And Raleigh's growth is creating more lifestyle choices in every direction. Now, number 8, the universities keep feeding the engine. Universities like NC State, Duke, UNC Chapel Hill are not just schools. They are research engines with a talent pipeline, medical anchors, they're startup generators, cultural drivers, and economic magnets. Then you add in Wake Tech, Durham Tech, and specialized training tied to healthcare, biotech, robotics, and advanced manufacturing, and you start to understand why companies keep choosing this region. Incentives can attract a company one time, but talent keeps companies here. NC State's Centennial Campus especially is important because it blends university research with private companies, labs, engineering startups, and real-world innovation. That creates a pipeline that can grow over decades, not just one hot real estate cycle. And for families moving here, the education ecosystem is a big part of the draw. You have major universities, community colleges, continuing education, medical programs, tech training, and career paths all inside one region. That's why the Triangle keeps feeling stable even as it grows. Now, number 9, Raleigh still has a quality of life advantage, but you have to choose carefully. Raleigh's not inexpensive like it used to be. Let's just be honest about that. But compared with Southern California, New York, Boston, DC, Seattle, Austin, Nashville, and parts of Florida, the value still makes sense for many families. You can still find communities with newer homes, parks, schools, restaurants, job access, and a little breathing room at a lower price than coastal metros. But here's the catch. You have to understand the micro locations. Cary feels different than Garner. Wake Forest feels totally different than Holly Springs. Clayton feels different than Apex. Morrisville feels different than Fuquay-Varina. Then Wendell feels different than Knightdale. Then you have Pittsboro, which feels different from North Raleigh or even other parts of Chapel Hill. A home that looks perfect online may not fit your real life if the commute, school assignment, road noise, neighborhood feel, HOA rules, or daily drive is totally wrong. And that's the part most relocation videos don't spend enough time on. Moving here is not just about choosing Raleigh, it's about choosing the right version of Raleigh for your lifestyle. Number 10, the East Raleigh suburbs may feel like the real next chapter. So everyone's talking about Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Durham, Chapel Hill, and of course, those places matter. They are popular for a reason, but over the next 10 years, some of the biggest lifestyle shifts may happen just outside the most famous names. Wendell, Knightdale, Roseville, Garner, Fuquay-Varina, Zebulon, Clayton, Pittsboro, Morrisville, many parts of East Raleigh, and pockets around Wake Forest and Chatham County are becoming more interesting. These areas are adding roads, parks, medical access, retail, trails, restaurants, sports fields, social districts, town centers, and master plan communities. They're not just adding rooftops, they're actually adding lifestyle. Wendell is becoming more connected with Wendell Falls and the East Side growth. Knightdale gives you proximity to Raleigh without always feeling like you're paying for the most hype zip codes. And Roseville is still under the radar but has long-term town center and park planning that could really shape its future. Garner has that convenience, the Raleigh access, and major healthcare investment. Fuquay-Varina gives you 2 downtowns that are both awesome and a slower rhythm with a lot of new construction. Zebulon still has that small town eastern Wake County feel. And then Clayton gives you more Johnston County space with major job growth nearby. And then Pittsboro with Chatham Park and Mosaic is one of the biggest long-term lifestyle plays in the region. So here's my question for you. If you were moving to the Raleigh Triangle area, would you rather live closer to the action or move a little farther out for a little bit more space, newer homes, and future growth potential? Do me a favor, drop your answer in the comments because I genuinely want to know how people are thinking about that trade-off right now. So those are the 10 reasons why Raleigh, North Carolina is positioned to thrive over the next 10 years. The jobs are here, the universities are here, healthcare investment is growing, life sciences are booming, and infrastructure is finally improving with more parks, greenways, restaurants, entertainment, and lifestyle options that are getting better in every direction. But here's the honest truth. Growth creates opportunity, but it also creates decisions. Where you buy here definitely matters, and when you buy here definitely matters. And how well that area fits your real life matters even more. If you're thinking about moving to Raleigh and you're buying, selling, or relocating anywhere in the Triangle, call, text, or email us anytime. Our information is right here on the screen. We'd love to help you make that move with confidence. And do me a favor, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we post new videos like this every week about different areas, commute times, schools, restaurants, and what it really feels like living in the Raleigh and the Triangle area. So until next time, we'll catch you on the next video.